The next subtopic of chapter 5 is untouchability. So this is also a very familiar term, right? We all have heard about it. Okay. So untouchability is an extremely negative aspect of the caste system, particularly against the members of the lower caste groups. So untouchability is a very strong, context, a strong term, and a very strong and discriminating thing to do to a particular person, because it's very humiliating, right? So this happens against the members of the lower group. The untouchables are considered to be outside the caste hierarchy. They are believed to be polluting and impure. Like how the lower caste people, they are the Shudras, right? But then these untouchables, they are considered to be outside, and they consider them not even belonging to the caste system. Okay, they are considered to be polluting and impure. Polluting and impure means, like, if you touch them, you will be dirty. Okay, you will be impure. The idea of distance pollution existed in India. The shadow of an untouchable was considered polluting. So if somebody of an untouchable group crosses you, or like even if their shadow crosses you, then that particular person or will be polluted. So maybe they went home, they took a bath, they went and prayed or something like that. So that was distance pollution. Three major dimensions of untouchability is humiliation, subordination, exclusion, and exploitation. So the high caste people, they humiliate the untouchables, and they are always in a position that is subordinate to other caste groups and other members of the society. They're excluded from most of the, like, maybe all of the activities, okay, social activities. And exploitation, they are thoroughly exploited in every aspects of life. Although the low caste are discriminated, the untouchables experience even more dominance, exclusion, and humiliation. So what they're saying is that although the low caste people, the Shudras, are discriminated, they are also humiliated, but the humiliation experienced by the untouchables, it is like way too much. It is more strong. It is more, like, yeah, they face more domination and discrimination than the lower caste people. Dalits aren't allowed to draw water from the wells, sorry for the spelling again, wells, or enter the temple. Like how the low caste groups are not allowed to draw water from the uh, wells which belongs, or like, which is from that well where the high caste people also draw water, and they are also not allowed to enter the temple. Okay, so the same thing is also applied to the untouchables, but then they are even more humiliated, as mentioned earlier. They are asked to do very low level jobs, low life jobs. Okay, like in a religious ceremony they have to play the drums, okay, or they are not allowed to wear clean clothes, right? They're not allowed to even stand or sit at par with the high caste people, and all of that are made to be, like, asked to be done by the untouchables. Okay, so untouchability is very strong, and it affects an individual's life a lot. Untouchability includes exploitation of the untouchables, economic exploitation, unpaid labor, confiscation of property, etc. So untouchability, as we mentioned earlier, is a very crude form of exploitation. Okay, so here they do not only face social exploitation but also economic exploitation, because they are asked to do like menial jobs, all sort of labor, but then they are not paid properly, or they are even not paid at all, and their property is taken away, it's confiscated. Okay, they are humiliated to such extent. Untouchability is a pan-Indian phenomena. So this means untouchability is a reality of Indian society. It is something which is happening. Okay, it relates to the Indian society. Its intensity, specificity varies across India. Okay, so although untouchability is there in all the regions of India, but its intensity and how it is processed, it varies all over India. The untouchables have been given different names. Okay, so they are called Dalits, they are called Harijans, they are called untouchables, right? But all of it is a negative term. Mahatma Gandhi called them the Harijans in the 1930s. So Mahatma Gandhi began to call the untouchables Harijans in the year 1930. I guess you've heard about it. And then the earlier untouchable communities and their leaders labeled themselves as Dalits. This term was coined by B.R. Ambedkar. So B.R. Ambedkar himself belonged to the lower caste, but he really wanted to belong to a religion where there was no stratification or where there was no dominance depending upon their status, or there was no stratification. Okay, so before he died, he converted himself into a Buddhist. He began to follow Buddhism. Okay, so this B.R. Ambedkar, he fought a lot for the lower caste people, for he himself belonged to one, and he began to call himself a Dalit at that time when there was a lot of Dalit movements going on. The term Dalit received wide currency during the caste riots in Mumbai in 1970s. So when there was all this caste wars going on, this term Dalit became quite famous at that point of time in the 1970s. So there was this group called Dalit Panthers in Western India who used the term Dalit to identify themselves, their struggles, rights and identity. So this group used the term Dalit to stand out from the crowd, to identify themselves, to identify their struggles and their rights. So that is for untouchables, because untouchables are excluded, like how the topic of this chapter is patterns of social exclusion, right? So how these people are being excluded due to untouchability, due to caste system. So please remember and also read your textbook, because I've highlighted only the important points. Okay, I don't have a text and it's very difficult to teach without a textbook, hence highlighting only the important points. Okay, bye bye.